Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to another episode on the Wholesome Rave podcast. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Let's get right into the video. So if you think that this video or this topic might be triggering for you, I definitely think you should skip to my next video or just find another channel that can entertain you. But this video is for women that are baby mamas and for women that also are thinking that these kinds of lifestyle is the right kind of lifestyle to live. We have so many celebrities that are following in this lifestyle. Some of the popular celebrities we know of is Rihanna. We also know of the recent discussion is also about Sky Jackson. And I don't know if you guys remember the scene that happened between Keke Palmer and her baby daddy on the internet. That was early last year. Sky Jackson is also someone who, like a lot of discussions around her pregnancy. Sky Jackson is also a Disney actress. It's not just about her getting pregnant. Yeah, people were surprised that she got pregnant. But the thing that really made people start talking about her pregnancy was the kind of man she chose as her baby daddy. He's an ex-convict. They call him Yerky Yerky. That's a really weird name, first of all. There was reports that she and her boyfriend, they had big fights in Universal Studios where she came for some of her acting sessions. She ended up getting arrested and getting fined for $20,000. After a few months, she came out with her pregnancy. The shocking thing is, Sky Jackson is one of those women you do not expect. But I'm not surprised because she's a celebrity. They don't live the normal lifestyle that you and I or someone living in like Ikorodu Junction is living. When the video came out or the issue came out, he came on Instagram and he published this statement. He's basically saying that he hated her, Sky Jackson, and that she was just a Disney bitch.
Someone like Sky Jackson, being a former Disney Channel kid and a working actress in Hollywood, had access to high-value men of different kinds, whether they were billionaires, millionaires, actors, or people in a similar field that were a lot more high value than the man she's chosen to have a child with. So with this much access, how did she end up with Yerky Yerky? I don't want to use this video to point fingers at Sky Jackson or to judge her for her choices because I feel like enough people online are doing that already. But I would like to use the ongoing conversation about her to highlight something that I think a lot of Black women, a lot of women in general, but especially a lot of young Black women need to understand, which is knowing their value and acting accordingly. They say that if you want to see how somebody values themselves, just look at the choices that they've made. For example, the people that they've chosen to have children with and the people that they've chosen to form relationships with. And if we look at Sky Jackson and all her accomplishments and just how she's always presented herself versus the man she's now having a child with, it doesn't seem to make sense that someone like her would choose somebody like him. But ultimately, our internal processing and our internal conversations are what would dictate the actions that we people see externally. In this case, who she's chosen to lay down with and procreate with.
Ladies, stop presenting yourself like poop on a platter to these men. It does not make them respect you. And if they do not respect you, they cannot love you. They can barely even like or tolerate you.
It's crazy because we see these celebrities having kids with men without any commitment and think that we can also do the same thing and have an easy life. Let me tell you, girl, it's not going to be easy for you. Even though you think that these celebrities have it easy, I'm telling you, if you don't prepare for motherhood, it's really going to get to you. Having kids is a lifelong commitment. Some of these celebrities are showing off this lifestyle. Kylie Jenner had a kid at 19 years old. And I remember back then, this culture was being celebrated. A lot of women were flooding her comment section, congratulating her, saying that they wish they could have the kind of lifestyle that she, and they don't have to worry about like commitment. Let me tell you, ladies, women are like flowers. As women, when it comes to commitment, marriages, relationships, we see that these men can still get themselves any woman of their choice at 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old. I'm not saying as a woman in your 50s you can't get a partner, but like for a woman, our body ages very fast, and that is because we do not have testosterone like the men. It is like we have to take extra care of our body, and it's different for a woman who has also had kids. If you have kids, your body changes. If you don't take proper care of your body, you're going to lose yourself in a pregnancy. And let's not forget, there is also the postpartum depression that a lot of women also face. Many single mothers are single mothers maybe because they've made a mistake, and I think a lot of single mothers would say that the reason that they are single mothers is because they didn't get along with their partners. But when you end up getting pregnant by this random guy who you've just known for 3 months, and maybe 6 months in your pregnancy, things no longer work out, what are you left with? You're left with a pregnancy, and you're left with a child to take care of for eternity. Seriously, for those of you ladies that keep saying that marriage is just a contract, marriage is just a paper thing, you don't have to get married as long as you have the money. Let me tell you, having a baby, it's not just about finances. I used to be the kind that used to think like marriage was unimportant, having a partner was unimportant. But now I think over time, the more life keeps kicking me in the butt, I start to realize that I deserve someone that I can spend time with. I deserve somebody that I can spend the rest of my life with, have my kids, and bring up my kids under the same protection of love. You ladies need to get out of this struggle love. Struggle love is not going to help you. Thinking that by having a man or having kids, you're going to be able to keep this man. Let me tell you, sis, he's going to disappear the moment that child comes. The baby mama culture is ruining us women. Actually, there are some women that think that a man who has a child, just because he has a child and he's taking care of the child, that means like a good father figure. It doesn't make sense to think that way, because just because a man has a child and tells you that he takes care of the child, it doesn't mean he's a present father. He doesn't mean that he's always there for the kid. And let me tell you something, ladies. There are men who also do the same thing. They get you pregnant to keep you down because they feel like once they get you pregnant, you're physically bonded with them. The truth is, you're actually bonded with them. Having a kid with a man who is not a good person, not a good role model, it is going to mess with you for life. Kid is gonna grow up and want to have a relationship with his father, and if the man that you're having kids with is not a good person, then who's gonna take that place in your son's or daughter's life? I also have kind of asked myself this question, like, why do most women just want to be baby mamas and not get married? And I think it is because a lot of women do not understand the importance of being a wife. Some people think that being a wife is not necessary, but being a wife is like the core foundation that's going to help you raise your children right. It's going to help you be a good mother too. It's like if you're a good wife, you can be a good mother too. And there are so many women that think that by being a good wife, it is only of service to the man. Yes, it is of service to the man in many ways, but it also is of service to the family. It's also of service to your neighbors. It's also of service to the people around you. If you and your partner have a good, solid relationship, you are basically setting example, the right example for your kids to follow in. Our society encourages young people to think that by getting pregnant or having a kid, that also equals maturity. Like, who told you that by having a kid, you instantly get mature? You're just a kid having a kid. That's literally what it is. Don't be having kids out of selfish reasons. That is so unfair and that is so not right. What if something happens to you and you're not there to take care of the kid? Who is going to take care of your kid when you're not there? So these are things you need to consider. I'm not saying this to shame the single mothers. If you're a single mother watching this, don't make the mistake of repeating the same cycle of toxic behavior. Having a baby is not going to hold no man down. If you meet a guy and he's saying all the things you want to hear and telling you to have this baby without marriage, without any sign of commitment, just tell him to hold on and commit, then you can do whatever. Just tell him that. Let me say this. Make sure before having that kid, you have everything sorted. you have a nice, secure environment, you have good family, and you're loaded with cash. Make sure you have all that. But if you are someone, you can't even afford to get yourself a nice wig, you're depending on men to provide for you, you're making a big mistake if you're in such kind of situation. Even celebrities still have a hard time. They still get abandoned. They still get disappointed. So without commitment, how can you know for sure that this man is going to be there to take care of your kids? How are you sure? And let's not talk about the amount of women that die during childbirth. If that doesn't scare you, we'll start all over on this message. If that doesn't scare you. And reports also say that a lot of children that end up in jail are kids who never had a father figure or role models in their life. I don't want to talk about how difficult it is to find a good role model. That is a separate topic for another day. That kid growing up and looking up to the wrong kind of man, that's also a big fuck up. So having a child is not a one-time thing. Having a child is not going to make a man stay. Having a child is not going to make you more desirable. It doesn't mean you're more mature. It just means you have more responsibilities. It just means you have to take care of someone for the rest of your life. It just means you have to work to keep providing for that child. And what is important is having the right support. Not having to go through this journey alone. Having someone that can stay by your side and support you. That is why it's important to have someone who is fully committed to you. So instead of thinking it's okay to have a kid, why not wait until you find the right person for you? Build on yourself, focus on yourself, and make sure that you are preparing yourself till when you're fully ready to give that kind of commitment to your unborn child. We all need to be more aware of these things and see how we can best make the right choices for ourselves. We can best make the right decision for our future. And even for our loved ones, it's not just about you. What about your parents? What about your family? What about the people that actually love you? When they see you struggling, it becomes a problem to them too. So why not have all this in consideration before jumping in and having kids? If you did enjoy this video, make sure to always stay subscribed. So do you think that it is better to be a baby mama or better to be fully committed before getting into any procreation? Let me know in the comment section the answer to this question for you. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.